Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today.
For 400 years, you had your knees on our necks. A garden of evil with no seeds of respect. In America's mirror, all she sees is regret. Instead of letting blood live, they begging for bloodlet. Revenge is a dish that's served on platelets. Transfusion of confusion, abusing our intellect. I can't be bought with a $1,200 check, even though $1,200 can make a meal stretch. My mama wasn't rich, but she earned my respect. She made a little bit of money for a lot of blood, tears, and sweat. Jumping up and down on police cars, I'm vexed. After Chauvin killed George Floyd, we got next. Molotov cocktails, anarchy on the set. The rich took the loot, so now we loot shit. Feeling like a caged tiger that's whipped to do tricks. That's why I started fires and yelled and threw bricks. They tried to run me over and arrest me and shit. Tase pepper spray and engage with the kid. They ran up in the state house with them AKs quick. But let a nigga try and do that white boy shit. Won't be no rubber bullets ricocheting off ribs, but the white supremacists go in the cops' face and spit. Try to barbecue, Becky call the cops on the kid. Hoping and praying it'd be some Emmett Till shit. Sandra wasn't bland, they hated Mike cause he brown. Trayvon should have had an Aston Martin riding around. Amadou Diallo, it's way too many to follow. Vato, how much of my pride I gotta swallow? God only knows how deep this plan goes. I was dealing with this shit as a teen in Kangos. Harassed by cops, word to my ancestors' souls. And watching that man die slow left a hole. He cried for his mama as the murder unfold. If it wasn't for them phones, Chauvin would be at home. Feeling justified because of George's skin tone. I'm telling it to those with melanin, you're not alone. The new Malcolm, Martin, and Marcuses are now grown. America's a graveyard full of black men's bones. And I ain't got to tell you that Breonna Taylor got slayed in her own home. Had they lived, Sean could have rocked bells. Eric could have garnered attention. Beyond the t-shirts and obituary mentions. Oscar could have been counting grants. Tamir could have went to Rice. They owed them cops nothing, but all of them paid the price. So yeah, you right. We should protect our Second Amendment rights. Because in a second, a dirty cop could kick the door in at night. A tooth for a tooth and a life for a life. We refuse to live in hell while you living in paradise. Being black in America is like rolling a pair of dice. But the stakes are way higher, you gambling with my life.
Hello, hello, hello. How are we out there? Hope you're having a good Saturday. It's pretty warm. And I'm liking it. It's pretty cool. I don't care for when it's humid though. Oh, me and humidity is awful. I don't like it. But hope you guys are enjoying yourself and always be sure to stay safe. Some people are getting a little bit too close to you. When they at the post office, I turned around like, you don't see that tape on that ground right there? Back up. Get up off me. Same at the grocery store. They get a little too close. I need you to back up now. Hold it. Back up. But other than that, what you guys doing? One thing I do appreciate you share some of your time here with me for the article reactions. I really enjoy them. Some of it is entertaining, and then I also would like to share stuff with you, and I normally do that before I even begin the show. If it's something that I know that can help, or even free, because I like free. Broke by broke. We ain't got it. So I did mention to you that Panera Bread had an offer that you sign up and they'll give you free coffee every day, so 7 days a week. up until September. And Dunkin' Donuts, what they're doing, not the same thing, but if you sign up with them, they will give you a free coffee every Wednesday. And so far, they're 2 months strong. I didn't know if I should announce it or not, but when I seen they did it this month, I said, "Oh yeah, let me tell people because free is free. If it can help you, if you like it, you can give it to someone else. Hey, do so. Because a lot of times it's not just about you. You can help someone else. You have a neighbor, that could use a coffee. You know they like coffee. Maybe just up in age. It'll give you a chance to get out, get a little exercise, move your legs, go get that free coffee, and give it to your neighbor. They would really appreciate it. Most older people that I know, they always like their little coffee. They may not eat, too much because of whatever the digestive or whatever's going on with them, but they do seem to enjoy some coffee. So if you don't do it for yourself, do it for someone else. And even a supervisor. You got a supervisor, you just want to surprise them, here you go. You'll be surprised of how people will appreciate just the little things when you think of it. Now, of course, if you have a supervisor that's a jerk, well, that's another story. You know, stay, several feet away. Just engage when necessary. Like if your paycheck's a little short or something like that, then engage that supervisor. But I'm just kidding. And I am sure Poetic Tales is having her a great time. Today is her birthday. I did, mention it yesterday. Gave her a nice little happy birthday. And Classic Ruby started singing. All we needed was a band, but I didn't have a band. So all I could do was give a hand clap, shout out, and that was it. So what I'll do is go ahead and get started with my first article. Let's see what I have here. You gotta be patient with me because some of these articles, when you share the screen, what will happen is it'll start moving before you're even ready. I don't know what that's about, but I find that with the YouTube articles. Okay, and I'm also going to put my links in here if you feel so kind to support the channel financially. So far, I'm getting Streamlabs paid monthly, which is $25. So thank you for all the support I get. I do appreciate that. And next is working on the guests. That's the other thing. 'Cause like I said, that's my goal. People, time is valuable. And if I ask them to come on the channel and they can actually share some wisdom with you, hey, I'd like to give them something, wake them up with something, something. Okay, so let me see what I can do as far as the article. First one, let's talk about, I don't even know what this is. Like I said, Yahoo, what it does is start playing its own thing, but we're going to work this out. That's one thing we're going to do. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'll start off with this one. Let's see what my screen says. Yep, it's moving. Like I said, I just, I hate when it does that. All right. Make sure it's sharing. Yes, it is. Okay. Officials. Okay. TSA agent tricked a traveler into twice showing him her breast. Now, why? Is it that bad? Dude got to be at work to see some breasts? What's up with that? Just why? You're at your job. You risk your job, all your employment, your livelihood to see some ditties. Why? I don't know what's wrong with these people, but something wrong with them. Let me go on to the story here. All right, where's my article? Oh Lord, I think you know what they've done? Okay, the woman, she went through security at one of the world's busiest airports, and this was in California, so you know that's busy. Okay, it's playing. This is crazy. I gotta have two screens just to play the darn clip. But just work with me, people. Work with me. That's all I ask. Just work with me. This is a shame. I'm working through it. Okay. Anyway, she has an attorney. This is in California. Uh, oh darn. Article is doing its own thing. Go back. Okay, a Federal Transportation Security Administration agent. Okay, go back. Gee. Tricked a traveler into twice showing him her breasts. As she went through the security of one of the world's busiest airports, California attorneys said. Attorney General Xavier Baraka, I don't know how to pronounce his name, said Jonathan Lamali was working at Los Angeles International Airport in June when he used fraud or deceit to falsely imprison a woman. Lamali was arrested early Thursday. Now, this was in June, so it wasn't this past Thursday. Okay, waiting for the screen to change. Okay. He said he had to look inside her bra to make sure she wasn't hiding anything. Then he had her to pull her pants away. I'm still here waiting for it to change. From her waist so he could look inside, she told investigators. He subsequently took her to what he said would be a private room for more security screening, according to the arrest affidavit. But once they were alone on the elevator, she said he told her they could do it there. The woman said Lamali told her he had to make sure she still had nothing in her bra area. Darn. Give me a second. It would pass. And he also looked down her pants again. Okay, he was held on $50,000 bail and was going to make an appearance in Los Angeles Superior Courthouse. Now, why? I have no idea. Again, he risked his job just to look at some breasts. Why? What is that all about? Why would you do that?
I think it's just because incel culture is real, Shar. It's real and it's deep. I mean, these men are really begging for some play to the point where they would be willing to risk their livelihood. They'd be willing to sell anything for like half of some play. You know what I mean? Like obviously it's real and it's deep for him. I don't know. The last time he saw some naked boobies was a long time ago. Clearly. I mean, clearly. You think about that, right? I mean, even teenagers who are so, hormonally charged wouldn't do such a thing, right? They wouldn't just sit there and risk their
Right.
jobs, right? To try to, cop a cheap feel, even though they're allowed to touch, like, okay, I think about going to clubs and stuff, right? And so you got the people who search you at the door. That's a really good time, especially when they're checking underneath your bra line or whatever, right? That's a good time to cop a feel. You just lift your hand a little bit higher, use your fingers instead of and your thumbs graze. You could do all kinds of crazy stuff and probably get away with it, but they don't, right? Because they're not willing to risk that. It's a great position. You stand there, search some people, and stand there for the rest of the night and they pay you a lot of money. So people aren't willing to risk that. So you got to think about this. This must pay way better, and it's consistent. It's guaranteed money. And he was willing to do this just for a look, not even a feel, a look. You gotta think this guy has not gotten played since like 1991. Oh man, that is tragic. I mean,
It's gotta be bad. It's gotta be bad. And if he would have got away with it, possibly, if he only did it one time, but he had to take it further.
Right.
I'm like, why pressure luck? Why? Just say, okay, I seen a set today. I'm gonna try tomorrow. What's wrong with that?
You know why he pressed his luck? I know why he pressed his luck. Because he's gotten away with this before. He has gotten away with this before with the one time. In fact, he got so brazen because he had gotten away with it so many times with the one show that he started doing the two show. You know what I mean? It's only when you get to the two show and this one was it. Nah, man, this ain't right. Right. But you have to think about it. A lot of people, it's unfortunate. You know what? We could talk about the gymnastics scandal and everything, right? The unfortunate thing is a lot of people just bow to power. Like, well, oh, you're a security and you say I have to do this. Okay, I guess it must be for security purposes. And they don't think it through, like logically, right? Like, I'm telling you, there's going to be a flood of people who are, trust me, watch, the newspaper is going to come out with a flood of people. That happened to me too, right? And we're going to go, oh, the Me Too people. No, it's because a bunch of idiots got played and didn't even realize it was a problem until one person finally said, no, I don't think this is right. I'm going to tell someone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he went too far though. I mean, again, like I said, one time, okay. But folks, that's what people normally do. They push it. They don't stop at one.
Right.
That's why they get caught, because they just keep going and going and going and going. But that's okay. You're gonna get what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
Good.
Right. That's your fault. You could have kept getting away with it with the one time, moron. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to encourage nobody.
Right.
This is wrong. Don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, don't be an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get y'all. Criminals got really stupid. Like, really, just stupidity. Poor thing. Well, hope he enjoys his cellmate.
Tragic.
You know. I like that. That's good. That's good. I like that one. It was a good surprise.
All right. Cool.
Alrighty then. Well, let's move on to some other idiots. Nope, they're not stupid criminals. They are Barbie, the creators of Barbie, i.e. Mattel. Okay, let's talk about them. Now, y'all might have heard that, you know what, they're making great moves here as far as, you know, trying to make inclusive Barbies, right? They got one with the prosthetic limb and one in a wheelchair and whatever. They're making Barbies after influential women instead of bimbos. And okay, this is great. And so you might think, well, you kind of have a standard in your head of what Barbie looks like, right? It's got this long, silky, straight hair of a variety of different colors, skin of a variety of different colors. Generally, all Barbies look almost exactly the same unless they're Skipper, right? Okay. So yeah. Barbie said, I'm going to throw my hat into making black Barbies, right? I want my black customers to feel inclusive. Now you don't have to just get the tan one, right? You can get black ones, right? We're gonna make sure you feel included and you see black culture in our Barbies. So let's take a look. Now, Shar, I passed you the link to the article, so we can take a look. I want y'all first to watch the video, and this is one of the influential women who had a Barbie made out of her. And because she's a black woman with the hair, we want to listen to what she's got to say a little bit and see her Barbie. So let's take a look at this.
Just giving me music.
Having my own Barbie doll feels totally surreal because it's never something that I imagined was possible, but also I'm really honored to be a part of a group of really inspirational women that I for sure look up to.
I am so grateful for this room and for us to share space together because this is our first We Vote Next Summit and I'm so
The one thing I'd have to say I love most about my Barbie is for sure my vote shirt. I've worn the vote shirt on multiple occasions. I think most notably my 18 by 18 summit, in which we gathered students and my peers from around the states to come together before midterms to talk about what matters to us and what's important walking into midterm elections in 2018. It's a shirt that I wear all of the time. The fact that my Barbie gets to rep it is really exciting. Being a Shiro is really about, I think, following your passion, so much so that other people can't help but to take note. It's about being a space maker, I think, about not only doing what you love to do, but also intentionally making room so that other people can join you. And I think it's about being a part of a community of lovely people and celebrating each other. I would honestly have to say my mama would be a really cool doll, because one, I would personally love that doll. But in terms of somebody who has inspired me on a daily basis, I feel like she constantly reaffirms that anything is possible in my world. My inspiring message, it's understanding that not even the sky is the limit, but to also know that you have such immense support of people who want to see you succeed.
Right, beautiful. That was beautiful. Okay, and you got this
Every
girl.
time you touch a
Oh God,
surface, bacteria.
these people. You think I want to keep seeing more videos just because you have them? Anyway. Like,
Right, that's why I be fussing earlier.
Right?
Go ahead.
So you see this Barbie, right? It's got 3C hair. You know, she's just wearing normal people clothes. You know, she got her little vote shirt on. You know, we're talking about making a difference and, you know, representing the community, right? And I'm like, in all fairness, yeah, she's got a little 3C hair. I think that would be cool to get my daughter, right?
Yeah.
So now on June 24th, okay, Mattel decided that they were going to come out with this BMR 1959 collection. Okay, so it is a streetwear inspired collection. Okay, and so apparently they're being praised. Now I don't understand. They are being praised. Char, I want you to show them the black Barbie doll that they are praising right now because it's got baby hair. Let's scroll up a little bit. Let's see this pink monstrosity coming up here. Oh, where's the picture? How come it's not showing the whole head?
I don't know.
Okay, well we can stop here. That's fine. That's y'all can see the monstrosity from there. It's fine. So first of all, this black Barbie, you know, clearly they're talking about, oh, it's representing black hair because they have some ridiculous baby hair penciled onto her face, right? Bright pink hair. And then, of course, she must be wearing weave, though, or she has a perm because no black woman is born with bone straight hair, right? And, you know, obviously it's dyed to look like a rap video woman because no black woman is born with pink and purple hair. But they put it in shiny bumps and they drew some baby hair on her face. So apparently that's representative of black culture and black women. And they're praising Mattel. Oh my God, I wish I had things like this when I was growing up to look up to.
Who did you talk to?
Right? Oh, you had someone, Cardi B. You know, you got lots of people to look up to who look like this. Is this what the average black woman looks like? Really? This is what we want our daughters to look up to, right? Like you said, who were you talking to when you asked what we would want to give our daughters and what we're looking up to as black women? Like, I don't understand how you could get the message and the idea so right. I mean, they only included like one black Barbie, if you notice, in that nice productive woman collection. But at least it was a black woman. She got black hair. You know what I mean? It's actually down and being shown. You know, she's wearing clothes that aren't too revealing, but are still cool and fashionable. Like, that's what you want your daughters to look up to. So how could they get the message so right? And then look at this monstrosity. Like, Char, I can't. I like the pink baby hairs. No. Just no, this whole thing is ridiculous to me, especially because then they put it in, you know, of course she has to be wearing a mini skirt. She's got to be showing belly skin, right? So this is the streetwear you want your young girls to be looking up to. Now, apparently this is inspired from like old school too, which in and of itself, I don't know where in 1959 you saw black women showing thigh in their mini skirts with their belly skin
Right.
out. With sorry, what? With pink hair and pink baby hairs. Like, tell me, this is what they think of us. This is what they think of our culture. Okay? This is and we're supposed to buy this in mass and give it to our daughters. And honestly, I'm almost less worried about that. I'm more worried about the fact that a bunch of little white girls around the world are going to own this and think this is what black people are, right? They're going to expect when they go over to their little black friend's house, this is what mommy looks like, because this is what black women are. Like, really? Really?
They're going to be disappointed.
Right? They're about to be very disappointed. Like, what kind of, you think about the respectable lengths of skirts that were actually acceptable back in 1959. No belly skin showing, that's for sure. You know what I mean? The even though we were rocking a lot of relaxer and stuff like that, we weren't going out like this. Like, and these big gigantic, I mean, do you see these earrings? Do you see those earrings? Those earrings are like 50 pounds of earring each on either side of her head. Like, they're ginormous, huge earrings. Like, there's nothing about this that screams, you know, proper, functional, classy, cute black culture. Like, there's more to black people than what you see in a rap video, which is what I think they modeled this after. And it's not like we have a whole bunch of Barbies. It's not like, well, this is just one of the many black Barbies that they have today. You know, the 30% of their Barbies are black. So, you know, why are you picking on this one? No, it's because this is the one. This is the black one. This is what they came out with, was the black one. Come on, Mattel, you fail. I don't know who's praising you. I'm giving you a fail minus on this one. Sorry. Yeah. That is all.
I would like to see, both. I want to get a list and I want to see the people that were at the meeting.
Yes.
I want to see the people who came up with the budget.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how much they spent,
Mm-hmm.
how much they received in profits or whatever. How much did they spend in marketing?
Mm-hmm.
And who in that company owns one?
Facts.
That's what I like to know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of white faces on that list. A lot of white faces. Come on. Y'all did not consult one single solitary black person. And the black person that you got sitting there going, oh, yay, I wish I had this when I grew up and whatever. Those are called brand ambassadors, right? You pay them money yearly for them to say that they love Mattel and all their products. You know, we know that they exist. They're called brand ambassadors. There is no way. Now, the one woman said, well, you know, I guess I applaud Mattel for trying, but are they taking these profits to do anything for black people, since they're co-opting black culture, apparently? So they say. I mean, I don't know. I still feel like that legitimizes this Barbie. So I wouldn't even say they co-opted black culture, because I just find this to be, I mean, look at the shoes. They're like neon yellow markers. Like, they look like highlighters. Who wears those shoes with this outfit? No, stop it. Stop it.
I can't get past the face. You know, I'm not even. I can see the shoulder down, but I can't get past that. Just those first few inches. I can't get past it. Who signed off on it? That's all I want to know.
The whole thing is a monstrosity. Like, when I say monstrosity, I do mean that literally. This was like fail. You're right. Those eyebrows are horrible. They're narrow near the nose, and then they're huge at the end. Like, oh my god, just enough. Mattel, fail. Try again, or consult some black people before you try again, though, please. Lord Jesus, please. Right?
Yeah,
in fact,
I really like
I volunteer.
The name of the artist.
The name of the artist?
The one who designed this.
Oh,
the designer, the artist, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what their title is, but I like to have the name.
True.
I really would like it. And, you know, where have they worked before? Where's their work? I just like to know. That's
right?
Yeah.
There's got to be, I mean, something. I think, you know, and I think this is the unfortunate part, is, again, they're not consulting, even with the artists, right? I'm sure they consulted some white artists who knows whiteness very well, or something like that, or calls themselves an ethnic creator, but they're used to doing like Asia somewhere or something. Like again, you cannot properly imitate Black culture, Black people, Black styles unless you are consulting with Black people, unless you're going to Black artists, Black designers for the clothing, right? We know. Y'all don't know. Most of the time you spend your time looking away from us unless you're watching the news and tisking, right? So like you need to go to Black folk. Because I'm positive, no matter who you find on that list, there's not one Black person. And if there is, I'm telling you, they're in hiding right now. They're in hiding. They didn't think this was going to be the end result.
They should be. But if anyone want one, you'll be able to find them around November at the dollar store. So just look out for them there.
Lord Jesus. I can't even look at the screen anymore.
Yeah, Vonda gave me an answer. I asked her, does she want one? She quickly answered.
I'm with you, Vonda, girl. I am with you because I don't want one either. I don't even want to look at it. I'm telling you, just no. No one, none of my little nieces are ever playing with that foolishness. Ever. No. Mm-mm.
All right, the end.
The Ruby has spoken. Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. All right. And my second one will be, let's see. No audio, that is correct, but I'm gonna click it anyway so I can have practice doing it. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. Stashing is the latest dating trend that's honestly worse than ghosting. All right, let me make sure which form I have, because I got two up. So that I can have one I can scroll and the other one I leave. Which one? Let me see. Take a peek. Hey, did I click it off? Oh, let's see what happens. I don't see it. It hasn't moved, so I think I'm good. I think. Okay. All right. It's been 4 months since you started dating Jim. You've gone hiking, binged the entire second season of Fleabag together, and eaten at his favorite pizzeria. So many times you feel like the staff knows you're together. But you haven't met any of his actual friends, let alone any family. Wait, you did run into his college buddy on the street, though, and they chatted for a bit. But now that you think about it, he glazed right over an introduction, didn't he? And when you posted a pic or two, he asked you to delete it. Well, take a seat. We're sorry to say it sounds like this Jim character is stashing you. Hold up. What is stashing exactly? Stashing is when one person is in a relationship, makes the conscious decision to hide the other person from his or her inner circle. And yes, that includes both in real life and on social media. Deep breaths. Of course, this is much more a reflection of the stasher than the stashee. But come on, it's downright rude and hurtful as hell. Well, let's think about this stashing.
So, what is it? Can you
called,
explain it again? What is it? What is it stashing? So you're dating.
You're being hidden from this person's world, personal and social media.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're stashed away.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, sorry. I was a little confused. I was listening. I'm like, I totally get this, but I'm confused. What is stashing again? Okay, I got it. Sorry.
Oh, and I got a way of telling which article to click on, what link, instead of wondering which one. I just figured it out. I looked at the top and there it is. Okay. But anyway, so there have been people who have done this and they've lived life like this, but They didn't want to worry about it. They just felt that, hey, we're doing things together and that's it. I had a friend who was writing a book about a lady who did that. Um, I haven't heard anything about it yet. I don't know. I guess she's not finished with it. But it was a lady that was living a life like that. She wouldn't give me any details. I wanted to know too. But I understand as a writer, you don't want to, give all the juicy details. You read it in a book. But I'm going to guess from just friendship with her that this guy, he might have been married at one time and he might not be now. I don't know. But this woman was stashed away. They did things and everything, but she knew no one and he didn't introduce her to anyone. No social media, no nothing. Now, with the social media, I can give a pass on that. I get that. If you just want to be, private, you can do that. That's okay. But if you don't know anyone, not even the dog, that's a problem. Now, I'm not going to use the word nosy, but I am curious, and I want to see how you live, because see, that helps me make a decision about you. I don't like to spend a long time dating someone, and because I'll be looking like, okay, you all right? Because like this one guy I was dating, went over to his family's house, introduced everybody. I'm looking around at everything, including, and I do mean the dog. I seen if the dog seemed like it liked me, how the dog liked him, the children, all these little telltale signs. I was watching. Now, Danteezy, it does sound like that, but normally, the side chick would know something, wouldn't she? Well, think about all the stuff that you've seen on television. You would see the woman would know something about the man's wife or something, his co-workers or whatever. She shows up on certain days and all that. But this person knows nothing, absolutely zero. Speaking of zero, hey zero. This person knows nothing, nada. And for me, I can see where it could be a problem because you're being hidden. So if you're being hidden, who is he hiding you from? And see, I have to know that. I'm like, I need to know what's going on. I'm sorry.
True.
So you call it, nosy, inquisitive, whatever you want to call it. I'm all that. I would have to know. That would, because it helps me form a better opinion about you.
Right. Some people are apparently like this though. So like when I met my husband, I remember when like we were first dating, he said like his ex, who he was with for 8 years, that was his girlfriend, but she didn't really meet anyone. Right? Like it was just that was the way he was. Like he had his life with his girlfriend and then he had the rest of his life. And he kept those two facets separated. I remember him telling me that, and I remember him telling me, all right, cool, well, if that's the way you need to live life, we are not going to last long, because that's not the way I roll, right? The way I roll is you come part of my life, I become part of your life. You meet my friends, I meet your friends. You meet my family, I meet your family. Like, I mean, not like on the second date, but that's the way I roll. So if you have an issue with like this whole amalgamating lives, because I think that's the functional way to do things, well, then you probably should start dating someone else, because I'm not going to be for you. And very shortly after that, he brought me to his bar where all his friends hang out to meet his friends. So I think some women, and there is obviously the side chick factor to this, and you could be a side chick if you're being stashed in that way and hidden, right? Because none of his friends, family, whatever can know about you, because then his wife would find out, right? But there are guys who do this. Like, it's not that they have a wife or a girlfriend or whatever. It's just the way that they date is they'll meet your friends even, right? They'll do stuff with your family, but you never meet their life. Their life is separated from you. And from what I gathered, right? I mean, speaking really intimately about this kind of behavior, it was a lack of connecting and bonding, like investing, basically, right? When a man invests in you fully, he wants you to be fully part of his life, right? But when a man doesn't want to invest in you fully, but still wants, the benefits of having you as a girlfriend, he will live life with you. He just won't let you touch the rest of his life because he is not invested in you. So he is planning on you being eventually gone. He's not planning on having children with you. He's not planning on marrying you. He's not planning on having Christmases with you and stuff like that. Like, he doesn't want you to be a part of his real life. You're part of the rest. You're part of his fun when, his friends are busy and he's not going to see his family this weekend and whatever. That's what your job is.
Wow. I don't know how many people sign up for that, but no, thank you.
Certainly not me. Exactly. I mean, and I said it. It's just, I don't think it's functional. I don't think you can really run a whole relationship. Like, how can you have a real relationship? You can't. So why would I spend months, maybe even years with you when I know for sure it's not going anywhere? I know for sure there's no ring coming. I know for sure there's no future coming. Like, why am I doing this then? Just because you're fun to spend time with? That's what I have friends for, Like, I don't understand.
Right. And really, what do you get out of it? I know there's sex involved, but what else?
Yeah. I guess, if you're lonely, because, people are lonely. Now you're not lonely. You have companionship without commitment. And so it's like, I guess some people see it as better than just, Tinder life because, it's a bunch of one-offs. You don't have to go searching for it. It's guaranteed. You'll get more than just sex out of it because, you get hiking and this and that. You get to have the boyfriend experience. It's almost like a free prostitute, right? Because you get like the free boyfriend experience, the free girlfriend experience. You get to have the fun dates and whatever, and then you sleep together, and then you go back to your real life in the morning. That's like what it is. And people are weird. I don't know. People are broken in society these days. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Right? Pass. And you know what? It is worse than ghosting. I'm going to co-sign that one. Definitely sounds worse than ghosting. Because at least in ghosting, like, someone ghosts you, they're done with you. They've decided that you're not going to invest in you. When someone does this to you, every time you see them, they keep calling you back. They keep telling you they're enjoying their time. You keep seeing they're enjoying, spending time with you and your company. It gives you false hope every day, right? At least with ghosting, you know what it is. Like, I'm done with you. Deuces, like,
Okay.
Oh boy. All right. Well, now we're going to travel to the darker side of life. We got to do this because, you know what? Listen, Toronto is a scary place right now. I'm going to say it. Listen, COVID-19 is making people lose their minds and revert to their most base instincts, animal instincts. And yes, I am referring to race and racism. So basically now, luckily, I'm not referring to another death, another murder, not because there hasn't been any, just because I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to talk about something that they are bringing far, far north that you normally hear about in the South. And when I say in the South, I mean the South in America. So let's take a look. Char, it is technically, I guess it's the third link I sent you because the first time I sent the message didn't go through. But yeah, it would be the third link I sent you if we could play the video for this.
Okay.
Please and thank you.
All right. Let's see what happens here.
Weeks after 2 nooses were found at construction sites in the East End, tonight we've learned of 2 more investigations in the past 2 days.
Oh, can you make it full size,
maybe?
maybe?
Warn our viewers that might find the images in this story disturbing. Let's bring in CB24's Beatrice Vaisman, who is reporting live in Regent Park with the details on this. Beatrice.
Courtney, the findings are certainly vile, and they come amidst heightened tensions between the Black community here in Toronto and right across North America. I can tell you that both of these incidents of nooses being discovered in construction sites just within the last 2 days here in Toronto are now being treated as hate crimes. You mentioned a warning to our viewers. We're going to show you the photograph, and it could be just deeply troubling to many of our viewers. This was the photo that was sent to CP24 earlier today. It was taken at the condo construction site here behind me at Dundas and Sumac. The company that owns this site is the Daniels Corporation, and it says it took immediate action and filed the report with Toronto Police as soon as that noose was discovered here today. Officers tell us they have in fact opened an investigation into this incident. CP24 reached out to the Daniels Corporation for a statement. We heard back from Mitchell Cohen. He's the president of the company, and he says this deplorable act against the Black community is unacceptable, and we reaffirm that there is zero tolerance for racism, prejudice, and hate on our construction sites and within our organization. Our team has initiated important dialogues with construction unions, associations, and industry partners to take a unified stance and engage in conversations at every level to set out clear expectations that this type of reprehensible behavior will simply not be tolerated. Meanwhile, a similar investigation is also now underway elsewhere in the city. Just yesterday, another noose was discovered at a separate construction site, this one at 81 Bay Street, where CP24 is also live tonight. Police Superintendent Michael Barsky tells us that the noose was found on the 27th floor of that construction site. He adds that so far there does not appear to be any video for this incident, but detectives are looking at, quote, every aspect of this case. That site is jointly owned by Ellis Dawn and the Gov and Brown. Police say no charges have been laid at this point. And finally, but not to be connected to either of these two instances in the last 2 days, yet two more nooses were discovered on June 10th at a construction site at Coxwell and Mortimer in East York. That site is part of the Michael Guerin Hospital, and that incident is also now being treated as a hate crime. So police now probing 4 nooses found on 3 different construction sites since June 10th. Investigators are appealing for anyone with information to come forward. Back to you.
Beatrice Vaisman on this story tonight. Beatrice, thank you.
Right. So, not to be connected in any way, but in less than a month, on 3 different construction sites, they found 4 different nooses. Not to be connected in any way, though. I'm sure that in Toronto, Canada, a place where it's not known for there being nooses ever, anywhere, even in history, that the 4 nooses that have turned up in the last 15 days, yeah, those must not be connected. First of all, the idiocy with which people are confidently saying that is amazing. So clearly connected. Now, connected to what? That is the question. I mean, people were not found hanging from the nooses or nearby. There haven't been any people who have been found dead who were, suspected of hanging or whatnot. So we don't have more information at this point. These are just construction sites that had nooses hanging at the site. Was it a message to someone who works at the site, who owns the site? Is it a message from people at the site to some type of group that they're in on it, that they're with them? Is this like a solidarity move for white nationalists? They're going to do this, hang a noose from here to prove that you're with us. I don't know, but it's a really eerie message to me, and it's a message I received. As soon as I heard it, my blood ran cold, and I was like, something feels almost organized about this, and like they're sending messages to each other. I don't know. What do you think, Shar?
I'm thinking that it isn't, I'm not going to take it as a threat. I think the person might be doing it for attention.
Okay.
I'm hoping that the person is found so they can be charged with a hate crime. So since they think everything is funny, let's see how funny it is when your life is changed, when they charge with a hate crime. That's what I'm thinking, because they're doing too much. I really think it's just one person or maybe 2 nuts that's willing to do that. But I don't see it as an outside organization, an inside uh, collaboration, just two numbskulls that are doing this.
Hmm. You know, I mean, even if it is, right? And I mean, I agree with you, like it could be totally nothing, right? I just feel like if you have three different construction sites, right? And these news to show up at the construction site, and you're like at three different ones. Like it's like they could be a bunch of idiots, but they're being really specific still with where they're doing it, which makes me feel like it could be a bunch of people in a you know, one of those message chat things. Like, yeah, I hate them too. Okay, well, if you do, then you got to send a message, because I feel like, you know, they wanted this to be exactly what it is, which it got onto the news. People are covering it. They're wondering what it's about, whatever. They wanted that, right? And because if it doesn't get out there into the news, they can't prove they did it. They can't prove they're badass, right? They can't prove that they're with the thought process or with the mission or whatever foolishness they're talking about, right? So, um, but I don't know. I do worry that it's some type of a few people sending each other a message, or sending this group of people a message that, yeah, I'm about this life. I'm really in it. Yeah, I'll make this little movement to prove that I've got the balls to do what needs to be done, kind of thing. Yeah, I'll sneak onto this construction site and hang a noose to prove that, you know, I hate black people or whatever, right? Um, because I mean, when you think about the crazy incels who decide to get together on
Well,
a message board and go
show me.
slaughter people. Hmm? Sorry, say that
Just
again,
go
Shar?
ahead and show your face. Say, hey,
Right.
I'm sorry, I was going in and out. I was just saying, if they want to be bad and all that, just do it in public.
Thank
Why
you.
don't you just show yourself? What you're hiding for?
Exactly.
That's all. Just
Exactly.
go ahead and show me. Say, look
Hmm.
here. That's how I feel. Oh, you do? Okay, come with us, sir.
Right. Exactly. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
At least, right? Have the cojones these days. Just stand up and say it. You got YouTube channels, Facebook Live. Come on. Let everyone know publicly. Claim it. Say, yeah, it was me. I did it. And I hate, like, just go ahead. Do it.
Right. If that's how you really feel.
Exactly. Right? You really mean it, right? You're really about that life. Yeah, that's what y'all want to prove to each other. So there you go. Let your mama know too, right? And auntie and your boss
Yeah.
and your friends. Let everyone know you're about this life. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Stand on your disrespect.
Thank
That's all
you.
I'm
Yes.
asking. Stand on your disrespect.
Facts. There you go. Couldn't have said it better. Stand on your disrespect. Toronto and COVID-19. I'm telling you, we desperately need things to go back to normal. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And knowing too much.
Hmm.
All right. And my last article. Okay, I'll butcher her name, probably. I don't know if it's Eliza. I'm not pronounced. I always mess up someone's name. I'm gonna go with. mm, I'm gonna go with Eliza. I don't know how to pronounce it. Eliza McSwan works the cash register at a McDonald's restaurant in Brandon, Mississippi. She was one of several people hired by the local fast food franchise for Mississippi Department of Correctional Restitution Center program. Now, what's disturbing to me about this is this woman, and I'll just read some of it. The tip we got, this was literally a tip because they won't confirm what they're doing. The tip we got at Mississippi today seemed a little unlikely. A woman in state prison was also working at McDonald's and not voluntarily. But sure enough, we found Dixie D'Angelo, a woman with court ordered debts of $5,000 because she damaged a friend's car. She had been sentenced to something called a restitution center, where she worked 4 different restaurant jobs to try to earn enough money to pay off her debt and get out of jail. Two reporters, Ann Wolf and Michelle Lou, ultimately found that hundreds of people were in similar situations because of the state's little-known restitution center program. Basically, we discovered Mississippi was running a modern-day debtor's prison. Now, yesterday I mentioned how a person loans, borrows some money and they don't pay you back. At least that was our subject yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned personally, I don't care how long it takes you, just pay me back. Now, the guy I sued to get my money back, just imagine if they would have went this far just to get my money back. To put the man in jail, make him work in different restaurants to pay me back. That's going too far. And this woman is doing this for $5,000.
Mm.
And of course, they're going to tack on some other stuff, but they
Mm-hmm.
want some heads up in prison. That's all that is. It's called, it's making up some money. This is ridiculous. They're trying to confirm it. Nobody wants to confirm this is what's going on, but it is what's going on because they've talked to current and former restitution center inmates.
Right.
They found public records, but no one is coming out to talk about this.
Hmm.
Like, shh, be quiet, don't really tell nobody.
Right. What do they do normally, Shar? So, like, if someone goes to prison because they don't pay their debts, right? Now, what do they normally
We
do?
don't have that at all.
Oh, no?
That right. That's supposed to be against the law to do that. Totally.
Oh. Oh.
Right. You just like in my case, I sued the guy, found guilty. You have a couple of choices. Now, what they did for me, they garnished his wages. Real simple, fine. Other than that, some people have to collect, and that person have to, just write that person out a check. Have so many days, a set amount of time to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're doing, they're hiding this. They're putting these people in prison and sending them different places to work to pay the
Right.
debt. And of course, we know they're making something off of it. And this is just ridiculous.
Right. So,
This is
okay,
against the law.
but they do this for child support. So if you owe child support, or if you get too high up and say parking tickets or whatever, they do have some cases of debt, normally through government means though, where they will imprison you for not paying that debt, right? When it gets to a certain level. What's the normal thing that they do for that? Because it seems to me like that's what they're doing. They're saying, listen, there's too much personal debt going on, too many people who are willing to swindle on a personal level, and there's no repercussions for that. So fine, we're going to treat them the way we do with the government debt. But what do they do with the government debt? So like, you owe all this money, now we're going to put you in prison because you didn't pay it. They can't say, well, we're going to leave you here until you pay it off, because you can't pay it off if you're in prison, because you can't work while you're in prison. So, okay, what's the normal
Which
thing
makes
that they
sense.
do? Yeah, right. So,
And that makes sense. That makes so much sense, but they will imprison you when it comes down to child support. They will
right.
do that.
And
But
then
as
when you
far
get
as the
out,
credit card and all that, the traffic tickets, they just say you're not going to drive, going to take your license, you can't get a passport, and some other things. But that
okay.
is as far as it goes. Well, maybe they'll garnish your wages, take your tax returns. If it's student loan debt, they will take money from you whichever way they can. On Social Security, disability, whatever you get, they're going to
Right.
get it that way. But that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Right. Wow. This is this is different. I mean, here they will imprison you over parking tickets, over like parking tickets, speeding tickets, that type of ticket. If you let those get up high enough, like I had a friend actually go to prison for exactly that reason. We had to scramble to
Wow.
figure out what we were going to do with her 4, not 1, not 2, but 4 kids under the age of 5. That was a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, because she had 1 and then twins, and that was fun. And the twins were babies too. But it was like pay the debt now or go to prison. But she went to prison. In all fairness, the prison she went to wasn't much of a prison. But and then when you come out, like they literally had cottages. 2 of them live in like these little mini cottages, and they have their own key to their cottage. And like it's barely a prison. But the point is, she was imprisoned. And then, but when you get out, you don't owe that debt anymore. That's why they're in prison. It's one or the other. Either you pay this debt now, you don't have $10,000. Okay, great. Well, then you're doing 6 weeks in prison or whatever it is, right? And then, but then the debt's cleared because they understand that whether, you don't have the money to pay it, then you don't have the money to pay it. You're never going to have the money to pay it. So we imprison you, you come out, okay, you don't owe the city anything for those parking tickets anymore, right? Whatever it is. So, and that's why I've always been confused about the child support thing. Because if you're going to put a man in prison for owing child support, and he gets 3 months or 6 months, then to me that should clear his debt, and he should be starting again. There's no way you can say I'm going to imprison you so you can't work for 3 months or 6 months and then come out and still owe that debt. But in this case, this is different. This is different than anything that we're even talking about. And that's why I wanted to know what's the case when in America, when you come out of prison, do you still owe the debt? Because that's what they're doing. They're saying you're going to come to prison. We are going to make you work. And once you've paid off your debt, plus whatever administration fees we've tacked on to that, then we'll let you out. So that's what your sentence is. This is completely different. This is like next level. It's one thing for them to imprison you for accumulating too much personal debt. It's another thing for them to then take you while you're in prison, and you get up in prison every day. You got to take that shower, and you got to get a strip search on your way to work, on your strip search on your way back from work, and work that you haven't chosen to do, that they're going to just take from you and decide how it's distributed for you to pay your debt. It doesn't go to your canteen or something like that. It's not going to be given to you when you get out of prison like prison jobs are, right? Because there are jobs that they give you in prison and you can accumulate money. No. It's to pay off your debt. And your prison sentence is as long as it takes you to work off the debt. That's something. That is something. And the people who are in prison, what are they going to do about it? They're in prison. Are you going to say no?
No. Because what I was thinking, I'm like, so do they take taxes out? And if they take taxes out, are they able to file taxes? I'm just wondering how far they're going to go. If they're going to hide this whole thing, which is against the law, what about the taxes? How do you count them as an employee? I mean, how do you do that? Do they qualify for unemployment once they get out, because you don't strip them of their livelihood, whatever they had before they went in there? So it's so much to dig into. And I have another article. I have to find it, and it's similar to this, but a little bit different. And I'm going to do a little research and see what I come up with, and then we can explore how crazy this is.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Hold on. So you said, okay, the $5,000 debt that this woman accumulated, who was it to? Like, who did she owe that money to?
A friend.
So now the question, I really want to know, does the friend ever get that money? I really want to know, like, for what they're doing, right? Because like you said, this is illegal. This is not something that they're allowed to do. So with that being said, are they actually paying back people their money? Or are they just making people work off $5,000 and they're keeping the $5,000 to send you out of prison? And, oh, well, you know what? Your friend still didn't get her money. Like, I want to know, are they actually paying back the people? I really want to know that, because I'm not even sure I don't even think they're doing that. I really don't.
In this instance, according to the article, she's working until she pay off that debt, and then she can get out of jail.
See, that's what they said.
So you stay in, right? We really don't know. We just have what the article, the investigators have done to take a peep in there.
wow, this is this is something, Char. Like, this is really something. You think about that. They're taking a prisoner that doesn't even want to be there, and sticking them in your fast food restaurants or wherever it is, right? To work off this debt. Like, this is something. This really is something. Wow, yeah, we really got to follow up on this one, because I need more information here. This is like, my whole brain is still barely processing what's happening. Like, I'm just like, but wait, but it doesn't, no, but it can't be. Are you sure that, like, you know what I mean? That's how I feel inside. Like, this isn't normal. Just oh my God. Wow. Okay. Go McDonald's for supporting this. See, this is the thing. We can get mad. We can get mad at the institutions. The institutions are greedy and selfish and self-serving. But we need to get mad at these corporations as well, right? McDonald's, whoever else it is, Wendy's, Burger King, whatever, because you're allowing this to happen. You know, you, like anyone else, you know that this isn't a thing. So why are you allowing this to happen? You know, are they telling you? And that's what I want to know, though, because, and I would look at this as well, because I know that when they are trying new policies, you know, they don't change the law as much as a few people are in like a beta testing program, for lack of better words, right? That's what they did with juvenile offenders and whatever, right? First, you're in a little beta testing program, and let's see how this works out. And if this works out well, then we'll spread it across the population and make this the new law. So I don't know. Though. This one seems a bit sketchy, because no one's even confirming or denying. Because if it was something like that, wouldn't you just confirm they're part of a test project? You know, that it's a test program, something. Why won't you even acknowledge its existence?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're hiding it.
Jesus. Yeah, it's a scary place to live all over. Sorry, I said Toronto. I meant all over. My bad. In so many different ways. In so many different ways. So going back to our conversation yesterday, if you missed it, you know, just click on yesterday's show when we're done here. But you know, going back to that, hey, listen, these days people are petty. They're tired of it. They're not about to let you go. They're gonna bring you to court. Be careful. If you live in, was it Mississippi? You live in Mississippi.
Mississippi. Yeah.
Yep. You live in Mississippi. You better be careful. You better pay your debts to your friends, because you got one of them friends who's going to bring you to court. The next thing you know, you're going to be in prison working at McDonald's to pay off your debt. That's all I'm trying to say right now. And it might be happening in a state near you. So,
okay. It may spread that program. You never know.
That's what they do. Don't get it twisted. Your state is not special. Okay. Lordy. Oh, well.
Now, does the next one have audio? Because I have an ad blocker up. I need to know if I need to.
Oh, it does have audio. Yes.
Okay. Say okay for this page. Right.
It's a cute little story. It's about fast food, but it's a heartwarming story. Okay, heartwarming. I'll leave you on a heartwarming story of how fast food can save your life. That's right, I did say that, how fast food can save your life. You know, so 20, right?
That's interesting.
I know. You ever think about in the 21st century, right? We eat a little bit too much fast food. We're a little too reliant on fast food, on our delivery and takeout orders, right? I mean, God, some people, y'all are on a first name basis with all the delivery people from your local, nearby, whatever it is, right? You know it's true. Stop lying. At least once a week, you know, you always order the same pizza for your family because, you know, Friday nights is I don't cook nights or whatever. Well, do I have a story for you? How fast food, specifically Domino's Pizza, saved a man's life. So let's take a listen to the story because, you know, people in the story are so much more entertaining than me. Let's hear the story.
All right.
Customer had a medical emergency and needed help. Well, because of employees here, he got that help.
Yeah, it was just a crazy story for sure.
Evening.
Employees at Domino's Pizza in Salem say something just didn't seem right when they suddenly stopped getting orders.
He usually gets chicken wings, sandwich, pasta, sometimes a pizza.
From one of their regular customers.
He orders every day, every other day. He's just a frequent order.
Late Saturday night, employees checked the computer and realized 48-year-old Kirk Anderson, who lives about 2 miles away, hadn't ordered food in 11 days.
So I sent a delivery driver over to his house, and he saw lights on, heard the TV, but couldn't get him to answer the door. So he called his phone. It went straight to voicemail.
So delivery driver Tracy Hamblin called 911, and deputies went to check on the man.
That's when they heard him calling from inside that he needed help. So they broke open the door and got him to the hospital.
He needed immediate medical attention.
Paramedics just said that he was laying on the ground in there, and they don't know how long or when the stroke actually happened.
The Marion County Sheriff's Office issued a public thank you today, saying employees here made all the difference in helping to save the man's life.
I think we were just doing our job, just checking in on someone that we know orders a lot, so felt like we needed to do something.
The man is now listed in fair condition at Salem Hospital. Reporting in Salem, Amy Frazier, KOIN 6 News.
Oh,
Right? Isn't that amazing? Right?
that is. Wow.
I love that story. Now, apparently it's old. It's brand new to me. Apparently it's old. But I was like, can you imagine like this habit of, he's a man, single man, a little elderly, lives by himself. That's a very lonely life for him. No one comes and visits and whatever. And, he's not up to cooking for himself all the time. So he has taken to ordering out from Domino's, several times a week. Like they didn't say daily, but it was, several times a week, every week. So, they don't see the order come in. They're like, all right, cool. Not, a week passes by and they go, what happened to Mr. So-and-so? Like, you have to think about how awesome this restaurant is, right? Like, that they actually cared.
Yeah.
And they didn't care monetarily. They were just like, let's just stop by and see if he's all right. Like, that's kind of cool. That is actually really cool. The welfare check that came, the 911 call, let's just check on our customer because he regularly orders from us, right? And we just expect this. This is a years-long thing he does. And if it wasn't for them caring, if it wasn't for them noticing that this customer who regularly orders, who's elderly and alone and whatever, didn't order, he might have died lying on the floor, unable to help himself, So
Right.
this was, right? Like, this is human nature. There are still good people out there who care. Shockingly. It's true, though.
I enjoyed that. That was just so heartwarming to hear that, because there are some places you go to all the time. Like it may be a place I go get my coffee all the time, and when this young lady, I didn't see her for a while. I was upset because she made your coffee perfect.
Right.
I mean, perfect. I've even seen people were doing what I was doing. I would get a particular line just to get her to make the coffee. And that was really when Dunkin' Donuts had some great coffee before they changed the recipe. But she had it right. And she ended up going to another restaurant, and I found her. It wasn't too far. And I'm like, I'm coming over here now because she's in here. And I started going to that one just because of her. But I used to ask about her at the regular place, and they didn't want to tell me because they know they lost a great employee.
Right.
So I'm reversing a little bit, but you do get to know, regular faces. If you normally work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and that's your thing, you see that person when you go past in the morning. They're just there, and depends on if you have any conversation. They'll tell you, hey, I'm going on vacation. Oh, you are? Yeah, I'm going to so-and-so place. Oh, have a great time. So you just get to know people just like that. And that young lady, she fixing orders, whatever, and maybe day 3. Like, I hear from Mr. Sampson or whatever. Day 7. Man, Mr. Sampson. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
then the one day she like, Tom, go over there. Since you're going that way, Mr. Sampson lives over there. Just stop by. And
Right.
that really was, you know, a wonderful thing to do. And I'm glad to hear that story.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, not to my house. I never really food delivery like that to that regular level, but Tim Hortons, which is like a coffee place. There's always a Tim Hortons like in every corner, and I had a Tim Hortons literally within like 30 seconds driving distance of my house. And when my health started acting up a lot, I was because a lot of it had to do with my stomach, and so I would always be in the Tim Hortons drive-through getting tea. And so they were used to seeing me several times a day, at least minimum once. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I mean, and this went on for a couple of years. They were used to seeing me several times a day because I would get black tea. That's for digestion. I would get chamomile tea. I would get peppermint tea. I was constantly in the drive-through because I needed a constant stream of hot liquid in my stomach to keep it quelled, basically. And they knew that, and like they kind of had a good timing of, based on the time of day and how many times I had been through the drive-through, for example, which tea I was coming for. Like they knew me. I remember once they had this whole entire thing where they had the smile cookies on it. It was like benefit for cancer or whatever, and like you pay money and buy T-shirts and stuff. But by the time I had gotten up that day and got out, the smile cookie T-shirts were already gone. I was really disappointed. And so one of the ladies had gotten a few T-shirts, right? She had bought some for her family and stuff like that. And so she actually brought me one. Like instead of giving it to her family, she gave me one of those T-shirts because she knew I was so disappointed. I had missed the Smile Cookie T-shirts, right? So I got a Smile Cookie T-shirt from this woman who works at the restaurant, like because they just know me. And when I didn't come for, a few weeks, and it was because I had surgery, they started looking for me. They actually did start looking for me. They started communicating to each other because there's a few different locations I might go to. Hey, did she show up over there? Oh, no, I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks and whatever. When I finally came through the drive-through, there was a whole thing. They stopped everything we were doing. Everyone came to the window. Where have you been? Right? They were freaking out. I was like, I didn't think you would notice, right? Like I really didn't. And they told me like next time I'm gonna be away to tell them. And I did. Next time going forward, I went on vacation to Jamaica, I told them. When I had my second surgery, I told them because they look for me. They really are looking for me. They want to know how I'm doing. They wanted to know details about different procedures or this or that. They would remember I had one coming up and then ask me about it. Like this is like a friendship. They don't know my name. I don't really know their name, but we know everything about each other. Have little discussions in the window and stuff. Like it was a whole thing. So,
Yeah.
that when I it made me smile and remember those ladies as well. I imprinted on them because they thought I look with straight weave or like wavy curly weave. I look exactly like this Indian pop star. And that's who they thought I was. So for like several weeks of me
Okay.
initially going through, they thought I was this pop star, right? And they'd all come to the window and smile and like wave, and I'm like, what's wrong with them? And then finally they asked me in another language I don't understand. I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And they're like, aren't you so and so? And I was like, no. Oh, okay, but you're from wherever, India. And I was like, I'm from Jamaica. And they're like, oh, really? You look just like her. They showed me a picture. I do look a lot like her. So, we had that bond. So, that's why it's like, I totally got this. I'm like, you bond with certain people at certain places for certain reasons. And, they keep an eye out for you. And I can say, being on the patient side of things, it felt really special to be noticed, I guess, Yeah, sure, they're just the fast food people, but they cared. They see like thousands of customers every week, and they noticed me. So I'm so happy that in this case, that noticing and that kind of little bond that was built saved his life. Like it literally saved his life. That's can't get better than that. You know what I mean? A little fast food part-time after school job, right? Like who else can say that? I saved a life. They saved a life. Kudos, y'all.
Yes.
Kudos. Mm-hmm.
All right. Applause. Yes, that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you all for sharing your time with us. I really appreciate it. Um, I would say same that time next week, but I may take next Saturday off only because it's my birthday, so I'll be busy. But
Is it? Okay.
it is. But I will see you guys Friday, and I hope you guys stay safe, have fun, and until the next time we meet, peace.
All right. Cheers, y'all.